In 2 years, 23, that will be 40 years, I met the Magdalena Project. So I realized this today, and as I am 64, so it's two-thirds of my life now. What impact it had in my life, I don't know. I know it had a lot, but I don't know exactly. It's woven from the year 83. At the beginning, we were not friends at all. We met because of the work first, and then we met also because of our anger and dissatisfaction. What it brought me at the beginning was mainly questions, and new questions which I would have never asked myself. It was asking me things I would have never thought, both artistically but also at other levels. That's one of the things that for me was very, very important. When we met first, it was we were eager of meeting other works and of showing our own works. We were poor in the sense that nobody wanted us in a way. No, we were rejected by everybody. It was times where to say I am a feminist was a bit shameful, or it was not in fashion at all. It needed a certain courage. I mean, at least in France, because that was for sure that people would laugh because it was not in fashion. The second thing that was very important for me was to listen to the others. And there was, I don't remember, Jill would know exactly when it was, maybe the first time that was invented the round, which I escape mostly now. But I think it was one of the most important thing in the Magdalena project, because it was um, the possibility of listening to everybody. Is it the person could be speaking or be in silence? You were there to listen, and that was a big thing, because in fact it never happened in our lives, things like that. The other thing was the challenge. I felt challenged every time I went to a meeting, because people of Magdalena Project were asking me things like, if you were saying something, oh, I should write about that, and then you were answered, okay, we wait for your writing next time. And suddenly it became a commitment. And I think one of the things for me was the commitment it demanded was huge and really interesting. And for instance, I was very afraid of writing, and I did it several times, and it was like a task that I was asked for. So I think then we became friends because of this work challenge, because of this exchange. And now, in my nowadays life, in this crisis, this friendship became essential. This is crazy. This is amazing. How much I need it. My position is not certainly the worst in the world in France. We are in the second, it's not really a lockdown at the moment, it's a curfew, but it's like a lockdown. So we had a very long lockdown in the spring. We have a second one now from October, and there is no date of ending. And we are not allowed to perform since March, basically. We could perform in September and October, but very few, and it stopped again. It's like to be stopped in everything. What I understood, that I took all the kind of reaction of the kind of proposal I gave myself came, I think, from what I learned from Magdalena Project, which is a survival strategies, in fact. What I learned was something like, when you have a problem, look for the solution, don't complain. Go try to find how it can work in this context. And okay, the context is reduced. Okay, what can I do? So now Deborah is asking us to have tiny things. Maybe in 1 year we will use our nails, but and always never stop trying, never stop creating. In fact, so during this process, I tried to create not only with my tool, which is my work, my artistic work. And one obsession I had was to keep the people linked, not to lose people. I conduct 2 choirs, and it was not to lose them, to keep them with me. It was to not to lose them in their life, that they because I knew they were isolated. So I looked for different projects who could keep people together. And so you can read it in the newsletter. I did several projects, and almost none of them is about singing because we couldn't sing anyway. So what I learned, I think, is always to keep things alive. That's it. And I think this is our, for as at the moment, I think this is the only thing we have to do, is to keep things alive and to keep the joy, even if it's hard, even if it's difficult. But we can do it. We can do that. We know how to do that. And as artists, we know. I was asked to propose provocation. My question would be, what can we invent which doesn't exist, which is new, of way of performing when it's forbidden? How can we perform? Screen can be one thing, but not only, also alive. What can we invent to do that? Can we just go to your neighbor and make a performance in his kitchen for 3 people? Maybe, I don't know. But which kind of forms could we invent now, and to keep things alive? Because I was thinking it's interesting to question the old forms of theater, the room theater, the audience, the stage. Maybe this way of performing is finished, and there are new things to do. Which are there?